Well, hello there. Welcome to Life Lived Out of Order. Today I want to talk about maximizing your GI Bill benefits, Voc Rehab, state benefits, college for veterans that are dummies about college, which is what I was. I'm a veteran and I have just graduated from college. I want to help all my fellow veterans out there in understanding how to maximize your benefits. I want to give you all of the information that I wish would have been given to me. We are all forced to go through taps and tamps, and I went through it about 3 or 4 different times in my career, and each time it was equally pointless as the last time. I spent like 2 days on the resume, which is the easiest thing to do, and how to claim disability, which is also not very hard to do. They spend a lot of time in the education benefits, but they leave a lot of questions open because they only tell you how to start your benefits, not how to truly use it to jumpstart the next phase of your life. And that is where the GI Bill came about. It was meant to help veterans jumpstart the next phase of their lives because it's hard when you get out. Now, all of you getting out are going to face similar battles, and it's even harder if you have a family because you can't afford to take a major pay cut for long. If you're getting out after 8 years or 13 years, you will probably be having the biggest difficulties in adjusting. You will be a fish out of water so far as the workforce is concerned, and they will keep thinking of you as entry level because they don't know how to comprehend military service. Now, you know and I know that your military service makes you an excellent candidate for a lot of work because you figure things out and you get them done. But most people have a hard time interpreting how that fits into their business. So, now the GI Bill and Voc Rehab are mostly the same benefit with different rules and different implementations. You can go straight to using Voc Rehab or exhaust the GI Bill and then start Voc Rehab. They both come out of the same pot of money. Voc Rehab requires at least a 10% disability rating, and everyone should have a claim to cover that. With all of the forced exercise and training, you at least have some shin or knee issues. Voc Rehab also requires that you have a clear path that you want to follow. You identify the job that you want and the educational path to it. Without that, you will not be approved. If you are still trying to sort out what you want to do, then it might be best to start with the GI Bill and then switch over to Voc Rehab when you have a clearer idea. Or start with a GI Bill, since you can start that way faster, and then apply for Voc Rehab while already in school and collecting benefits. Now, for more Voc Rehab specific information, please find Ben Krause on Facebook. I will include links to his book and his Facebook group where he goes into great detail about how to navigate Voc Rehab, because that bureaucracy is a small female dog. Now, what you are told about the GI Bill is that it covers 36 months of education or basically a 4-year degree, and that you need to be a full-time student to use it. This is true, but is grossly misrepresented. So let's redefine the explanations based on the actual terms of the program. You have to be a minimum full-time student, but there is no maximum. Doubling your classes will not burn up your GI Bill faster. That 36-month time cap actually means that whatever you get in that 36 months is whatever you choose to get, and it applies to all levels of education. If you already have a bachelor's and a master's, then you can go straight to a doctorate. I mean, that's if you want to do that. The typical transitioning service member does not have a degree, but does have plenty of credits from correspondence classes and other training offered by the military. These help a lot, but you will most likely need some more credits. For those that you don't know, core credits are your basic college-level math, science, and English classes offered for all bachelor's degrees. If you still have time left in the military, you can try to identify what core credits you need and use tuition assistance to pay for it, or find other correspondence courses to cover those core credits. A way to save some time on the GI Bill to dedicate to a higher level education is to fulfill those core credits or those lower level classes at a tech school or 2-year school. All classes at a 4-year school will automatically cost more than what is offered in the counterpart 2-year school. But everything offered at a 2-year school is basically offered at the 4-year school. All of these local tech schools have agreements with the 4-year schools, basically stating that the 4-year schools will recognize all credits coming from the 2-year schools. Pay for those core credits out of pocket at the cheaper rate, and then transfer to a 4-year school to start using your GI Bill. If you have a family and can't afford to do that, then don't sweat it, because it's not that important. It just saves you a little extra time on your GI Bill, to commit to a higher degree program. The next very important thing is to remember to go to a big school. Do not go to a small private school like I did. Go to a big school so you can always get the classes you need, especially if you are trying to speed up your degree program. In a smaller school, you'll eventually run out of classes to take, and that will slow you down. You don't need a job, so go ahead and up your credit hours. If you complete your bachelor's in 9 months as opposed to 36 months, that means you have 27 months left to do whatever you want. That is more than enough time to complete a master's or a doctorate program. Even if you complete a bachelor's program in 18 months, you still have enough time for most master's programs. You may also want to look into dual degree programs. There are many schools that offer dual computer and business degrees. So 2 for almost the price of 1. Now, let's get into state benefits. Here is a big one, especially for the guys with a family to take care of. Every state has their own veterans benefits, and some of those states offer free college benefits. And yes, you can use the GI Bill at the same time as using the state benefits, and what will happen is that the GI Bill will pay the school, and the school will turn around and refund that back to you. So in addition to getting the monthly BAH, you will also get the amount equal to the cost of the classes. Not a bad deal. You will have to check the state benefits on your own, or even call the schools in those states to make sure that you have all the right data. Some states will require that you have a Purple Heart, or that you were a resident before joining the military, etc. But not every state requires that you were a resident beforehand. Now, in addition, there are many states that will pay for your school if you are in the state National Guard. This is also a nice option because you get TRICARE for you and your family. And on a side note, there are states that offer free school to children of veterans. Also something you have to look into. I'm going to read a quick list for you, and I will include a link in the description to a webpage with all of the state benefits listed. But do remember to verify with the states themselves, or call the schools, or a lot of schools have SVA chapters, which is Student Veterans of America. So look up the school and look up the SVA chapter there and contact them, because they are veterans going through what you want to be going through, and they will have answers. Okay. Now, for the children of veterans, free tuition for children of veterans, you have Alabama, Arizona, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Michigan, North Carolina, and Oregon. Now, some of those require residency, some of those require that you have a Purple Heart, or some require that you have a certain amount of disability or a certain type of disability in order for your children to be given free tuition. And tuition ain't cheap, so look into it. Now, so free tuition for veterans. We have Alabama, Arizona, Connecticut, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Massachusetts, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Texas, Utah, Virgin Islands, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Again, They might require a Purple Heart, or they might require a certain disability. Not all require that. Alright, now for National Guard. This one blew my mind. If you're in their National Guard, they'll give you 100% tuition. Now, there's different stipulations for that. Look into those stipulations. But the list is Alaska, Colorado, California, Connecticut, Florida, Delaware, Georgia, Illinois, Iowa, Massachusetts, Missouri, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Virgin Islands, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. So, and a little bit about me. I got out of the military and I'm raising 2 kids on my own. A lot of this is information that would have been great for me to have at my disposal, but there's so much information out there, it's hard to pick out what you actually need. And the people giving you your brief and the tamps and taps, they don't actually know how to maximize it. They just know how to start it. So I really wish I had known a lot of this ahead of time. If I realized I was going to run out of classes fast, I would have gone to a bigger school. If I realized that there are states that offer free tuition on their own, I might have gone to Wyoming. So in the end, I'm okay, and I've figured myself out. But I want to make sure that everybody getting out doesn't have to go through more struggles than what they actually have to. We all just want to take care of our families and make sure that we have a better prospects in our future. So I really wanted to give that out to everyone. So hopefully this information has helped someone. And, best of luck to all of you getting out of the military, and thank you for your service. Bye.